Up? It's Scott Tajarian from the Weekly Transit Astrology Podcast here with Samantha Dottin. And I'm here because we're starting something new in accordance with the Weekly Transit. I'm a big sports fan. So, in being an astrologer, I'm always looking at sports and different athletes and how the planets are affecting them. And Sam is a client and friend, and she is somebody who has a background in sports and is interested in sports and came to me with this idea about talking about sports. So we're going to, in the subsequent videos, we're going to look at different players, different events that are occurring in the world of sports. But I wanted to introduce everyone to Samantha. So welcome, Samantha. How are you? Tell us about yourself. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hey, Scott. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm very interested, a new beginner learning astrology, and have been a sports fan my entire life and
Mhm.
have played sports for a large part of my life.
What did you
Probably
play?
started, so first organized thing, probably 6, 7 was softball. And then I
Mm-hmm.
did play softball all the way, played a couple of years in junior college and a 1 year at a D2, Chapman
Mm.
University,
Okay.
where I went to film and television school. And then I also played volleyball. Started in 8th grade, played through high school. So yeah, but always grew up around sports. Brothers and sisters play sports. One of my sisters played professionally softball in Italy for quite a few years.
Wow.
Yeah, she still plays like with a team every once in a while, and then she's heavy now into pickleball.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's just always been in my life. Always watched it. That's what we do on Christmas Day. It's
Mm-hmm.
based on the games that are
Well, and I
playing.
see that you're an Aries moon. So,
Yes.
from your little uh emojis down here, Aries moon. So that's a very competitive placement for the emotions. So you're emotionally fulfilled by competition. And what are your favorite sports now? You played volleyball and softball. What do you enjoy watching? What do you enjoy following?
Um, the NBA. That's my absolute favorite.
NBA,
Yeah,
basketball. But you didn't
basketball.
play
Yes.
basketball.
No. Well, I played once organized in
Mm-hmm.
the 8th grade,
Uh-huh.
and I was probably that about the height I am now. So I was
Uh-huh.
5'9" in the 8th grade. So
Uh-huh.
I was very tall.
Yeah.
Um, but just the contact, I I fouled out not every single game, but I was angry a lot, and I
Yeah.
did not like people touching me. It was
Aries moon.
not cool. Yeah.
Aries moon.
So as much as even, not my parents were pushing me, but that's what my older sister also played basketball. And
Mhm.
so I know people were pushing for me to play basketball, and because I was tall, but I learned that lesson. I'm not really sure how or why. I'm really grateful that I did. I didn't push myself. I had that 1 year and it was just not comfortable. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to do something where I don't have to,
Mm.
people touching me and fouling me and all that stuff. And then so,
But you enjoy watching it.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And my son plays now, and competitively, he's 6'6", he's tall.
Oh,
He plays in
wow.
college. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Uh, but yeah, huge basketball fan. And I think that's probably because that's what we watched most on television when I was
Mm-hmm.
young. And I just gravitated towards that. Um, and yeah, I'm a huge Warriors fan. I'm a huge Steph
Yes.
Curry
Steph
fan.
Curry. Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
huge, huge, huge.
Yes.
So, and not from the Bay Area. I live in California, but yeah, and I'm not
You
a
like
Laker
the way
fan.
that he plays, the
Mm.
way that he plays the game.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think also too when my son was really, really young, that's when Steph was coming up. And so I gravitated towards him because I wanted a nice, sweet
Mm,
son,
mhm.
that was loving and joyful and, an underdog and had to fight, all those things. I liked all those
Yes.
things about him.
Yes. Yeah, he's a great guy to root for. So I know that in initiating this relationship with you and sharing and coming to terms with like, hey, let's do this a sports astrology YouTube podcast thing. You mentioned that one of your objectives was helping bringing astrology to more men.
Yeah.
And so talk more about that.
Yeah, just in the last like year and a half, exploring astrology and YouTube and things on Instagram and
Mhm.
uh when I would be part of, webinars and or Zooms, and I would see most of the participants were women.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just noticed that. And especially as much as astrology, I think has helped me kind of navigate and helped me what I need to focus on more. And just mentally being a little bit more clear and helping with my mental health. I just thought it was a shame that there
Mhm.
aren't more men involved in it. And so I thought sports would be a great way to, get him into it, and also getting women more into sports, because it's hard for me to find lots of women that are into sports as much as I am.
Amazing.
All my friends tolerate me, but that's about
Yeah.
it.
I
Yes.
love this. This is like such great synastry between, if you're out there watching and you're a woman, but don't care about sports, but maybe your man cares about sports, but you're into astrology, but he doesn't care about astrology. This is where maybe the two of you can meet. And as we talk about different athletes,
Mm,
and for those that are not interested in sports, you'll be learning about the astrology and uh and then also the sports. But for those who aren't into astrology but know the sports figure, they'll be learning about astrology. So it's kind of like a match here where those who are interested in astrology but not interested in sports can still learn about sports, but those who aren't interested in astrology but are interested in sports can learn about astrology. But hopefully, I mean, obviously, I guess you have to have a little bit of interest. But I'm just thinking in terms of like couples or friends or whatever, men and women. And there is like in the weekly transit astrology podcast, 87% of our listeners are women.
yeah.
So this is, way off kilter from what I normally do, but I'm excited to begin this with you, Sam, and delve into some of these different athletes. Of course, we'll talk about Steph Curry maybe as it gets closer to basketball season.
Mm.
But we're going to begin with our first subject is going to be Aaron Rodgers. So
Ooh.
we'll close this out now, and then I hope you join us again for when we talk about Aaron Rodgers in the next video.
Mm. Great. Thanks.
Thank you,
Looking
Sam.
forward to it.